the dirty little secret is that there are a lot of folks, for people who are, achievers, thrivers, what have you, everyone hits that wall at a certain point in their career, but nobody talks about it. And so you don't know that happened to somebody else. And that on the other side of that, they end up leveling up, or if they are able to figure it out, like they end up even better than they were before they had the setback.
If you're open to it, I'd really like to ask about working at the Washington Post.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned in an interview at The Cut that it was the first time you did not thrive in a professional role.
Yes.
And I want to get into that because I think it's so bold to admit that and to talk about that. And I think that those conversations are really the kinds that we want to be having here, because someone as standout as you, so accomplished as you, we all have those experiences,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, that was definitely the most trying time of my journalism career, because I mean, I get to the Post and, had been recruited to come work there, basically had been told, you're going to be a star, and so I'm thinking the trajectory at that point had been, nothing but up, really. And so, but then I get there and it was not that, right? I mean, I was struggling. I was not finding my footing, and I was not the journalist that I had been up to that point, and I couldn't figure out why, and I didn't. I didn't know what to do about it, and it was the kind of thing where, like, you can get in a cycle where you have a crisis of confidence, and it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And so, by the time we part ways, it was just like, let me get out of here before I really start to internalize what these people are trying to tell me about who I am as a journalist.
Yeah. What challenges were you coming up against?
I don't know if it was the culture or that I just was not like a Washington Post reporter, like whatever the mold was, in that place, like it wasn't me. And so I was not gelling with editors necessarily. Work that I thought I was doing that was good was not necessarily how they felt. And so, and I just was having a hard time kind of finding my way there.
Did you turn to any mentors or anything in that moment? Was there anyone that could be a resource to you?
Yes. And I mean, there were definitely people in the building who were supportive, but I don't think they really knew what to do with me. And so then I didn't really know what to do with them.
Yeah. I mean, I think recognizing that we do have a tendency, or we can go into the spiral of then getting in our own way.
Yes.
And internalizing something that isn't even a reflection of who we are. It's just not always a fit.
Yes.
Is a really healthy perspective.
Yeah.
And I think, we've had experiences where I've had to let people go, and I think that they will thrive elsewhere, but it's a two-way street, and when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's the same in human relationships.
Yes.
And so I think trying to keep it professional and not make it personal too, and not become our entire identity.
Yes. Because I took it really, really hard, because like I said, that had never happened to me. Like, I was somebody who was good at everything that they tried to do.
Yes.
So like that I was not good at this when I felt like I was built for this. Right?
Totally.
Like that was very disorienting for me. Right. And so but like what I did not realize was that, for the dirty little secret is that there are a lot of folks, for people who are, achievers, thrivers, what have you, you will everyone hits that wall at a certain point in their career, but nobody talks about it. And so you don't know that happened to somebody else. And that on the other side of that, they end up leveling up if they take the right steps, or if they are able to figure it out, like they end up even better than they were before they had the setback. Right. So that's why I do not, I mean, I can talk about it now, but it was very painful when it happened. And like I said, like I there were just very few people that I knew that this had happened to, that I could talk to about it, who could really say, "Nope, you're going to be fine. We're going to figure this out." And so, yeah, I mean, I had to figure it out after that, but because I did, I was in such a better place after that. And so I don't want people for people who for whom this is happening or for whom this has happened. I don't want them to stay stuck in that place.